Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to UkraineDating.tv, the world's first and only by donation video platform that is designed for Western men to meet single Slavic women and win the hearts of Ukrainian women. So today's topic is Ukrainian women are whatever every man dreams of because of this. Okay, so let me just play the video for you and then we can discuss the topic.
This photograph tells everything. The world-famous Irish fighter, Conor McGregor, one day let the world know the truth of his girlfriend, named Dee, who was with him 8 years up to then. Then people understood why Dee was shattered in this photograph, which shows her consoling Conor after he lost to undefeated boxing champ Floyd Mayweather. By her expression, you can see she feels her husband's pain as though it were her own. The truth is that Conor spent all of his time training and living in their rented apartment without work because he dreamed of becoming a real-life hero. Dee took care of him the whole time, and when he came home exhausted, fed him respectable athlete's food, always said she believed he could do it. And now that he makes millions of dollars per fight, Conor makes sure she gets anything she wants because she deserves the best.
Well, she sure does deserve the best. I mean, she stood by him when he had nothing. So, of course, he better provide for her and love her because those women are not that easy to come by and to find them, And I know all the Ukrainian women that I know are very compassionate and very loving and caring and nurturing. Just even to think about like I told you guys before that my grandma and my grandpa are the example of the perfect relationship for me. It wasn't my parents, it wasn't my mom and my step dad, or my dad and my stepmom. No, dynamics really off and stuff, but yeah, like I mean my grandma last 3 years of my grandpa's life, she because his her health was very like deteriorating, and he had a cancer, so he was really sick. And especially the last year of his life, he couldn't even walk, he couldn't move. She had to feed him, she had to change his diaper. I mean, that's kind of sad, but and he was begging her to just kill him, and she's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? You're the love of my life. It was, I can only imagine how painful it was for my grandma to watch him, suffer like that. And like she was suffering, I can't even imagine. And she's been um you know alone since then, even though she still has admirers that want to take care of her and get married. And she's 85, so she's like, no, I've had the love of my life. Like, we loved each other. So, like, I honestly, when I watched my parents and even my mom and my stepdad, I knew for myself that that's the kind of relationship I don't want. So, but at the same time, I'm glad that my grandparents were in my life, and majority of my life, to be honest with you. I learned just how to love and how to be loved, how to reciprocate. Oh my gosh, I can't I can't pronounce it. Anyway, um, the love, because sometimes people take advantage, like not take advantage, but take for granted what they have and don't realize it until it's gone. So if you find someone that loves you for you and loves you no matter what, through thick and thin, then stick with that lady. All right, let's see the comments here. And I see I have a couple of guys here, Larry and Jason. I will add you guys in just a little bit. Let me just see. Okay, Santos, hello, hi. Oh, Irina is here. Hi, Irishka. That's another, for all the gentlemen that don't know who Irina is a friend of mine, and she is also doing the podcast, but she's doing them tomorrow. So at the same time, so come check her out. Okay, so good morning, guys. Just good mornings here so far. Larry, can you hear me? Yes? Okay, I'm gonna add you to stage. 1 second. That's this one. Um, about your microphone. Um, can you unmute yourself, please? Are you on your phone? I even saw your slippers. You were putting the. I can't. Oh, turn up the volume because I cannot hear you. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hi, Larry. How are you?
Excellent.
Excellent. Where are you from?
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. Ooh, everything is bigger in Texas. Yeah, I actually kind of like Texas. And did you hear that Elon Musk is moving his companies to Texas now?
to, to Austin, Texas. Yes.
Austin, Texas. Yes, yes. I'm proud of him. That's actually a very good move. Anyway, so tell us a little bit about yourself. What the age bracket? You don't have to tell us exact age, but and when was your last relationship, and how come you guys broke up? Or tell us a little bit about yourself.
Mm,
You're looking for.
I'm just 61 and tired of being by myself. And uh, seems like American women seem to be very entitled. So I thought I would try uh, Ukraine, Polish, Eastern Europe type woman just to see.
Well, you know what? There are a lot of men in West that say the same thing about the Western women, and it's unfortunate because I know a lot of Western women here in Canada that have very good values and also traditional, but nowadays it's just I don't know. In the West, it's a lot going on, a lot of social media, a lot of media, and there's all these TikToks and just too much of going on. And I see that a lot of women watch other women post stuff on the internet and thinking, oh well, he's buying me this and he's buying me that. Why don't and then they see other people their relationships and they think because people post this stuff and everything is lovey-dovey in their relationship, but they don't know what's going on behind the closed doors, right? They always want to portray how happy they are, but in the real life they're miserable. Like me, for example, I don't have any social media at all, so I don't really need that. So when was your last relationship? Have you ever been married? Do you have any kids?
Yes, I was married, had two great kids. I raised them as a single father, and
Oh, congratulations.
yeah, and they're
I
both
mean,
they're both great adults, very successful, and I'm very
mm,
best investment I ever made.
you know what? I always say the best investment is finding the right partner, and of course the children. They're the future and they're reflection of you, because I know a lot of people well, I find it in the West is really hard to discipline kids, because child services, there's that, right?
No,
In a way.
totally
No, well,
very
not
easy to discipline your kids every day.
exactly, right? So you need a little discipline. Yeah, and yeah, and the kids, yes, a reflection of you, definitely. And then I see some people complain, oh well, my kid is spoiled. Well, why did you have to buy the 6-year-old the iPhone, right?
Yeah.
Right. So how old do you want your woman to be, and then what do you kind of expect, other than to obviously to love you, to take like to take care of you in her way, because us as Ukrainian women, how we are raised. I always watched my grandma. They both had good jobs. They how they met. My grandparents met at the job. And anyway, so they both had great jobs. They both put in 50-50 or whatnot, but she took care of him in her way, like cooking, cleaning, all that she loved to do that. And then he was very handy, so it just kind of always goes both ways. The man wants a woman that is his peace, to come home and relax. And I find it that a home should be your safe place. That you can talk to your partner about anything that's happened. If you had a shitty day, go and cry on her shoulder if you need to cry. I know that men are also sensitive, um and they can't even talk to their women, especially in the West, because women are like, what are you, a sissy? Be a man. It's like sometimes men have shitty days at work too. And I think, women should be feminine to be able for a strong man. Men are strong. Women, that's why they're masculine, right? And women feminine, so they're softer. So I find it that, even the strongest man needs to, you saw the video how, how the his d Connor's girlfriend, right? That
Yes.
was her pain because she felt that pain, right? Just that's the same way I feel like, the other day my boyfriend had a bad day at work, and he was just devastated. But then he saw me, and I held him and made him some food, gave him a little massage, just to, and then it all became better for him, right? That's the women that we have. Like, I mean, seriously, we have so many good women, and they're all vetted here. I know, I know a lot of I know a lot of men are very hesitant when it comes to like online dating, especially from a different country, because there are a lot of scams, right? I know that. And but we are, all of our women are vetted here. They all want to get married. They want to have kids. Do you still want to have kids?
Oh, no, no, no. I'm
Oh, no,
61.
no. Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised. I've had some guests on the show, and men that were in 60, 65, 67, and they still want to have kids, right? Which I find kind of weird. Because, I mean, if you're 60 something, when your kid is 20, you're going to be 85 if you live that long, right?
Right.
But yeah, so what age range do you want your woman to be?
Hey, it's really not the age range. I just want somebody that's happy, well rounded, and
Mhm.
will bring very little drama to my life, as I will bring no drama to her life. I want somebody that's going to be my equal partner.
Yeah.
I guess it maybe sound funny and play on words, but my partner in crime. And so,
Yes.
and when I do have a bad day and I come home, I am a warrior, but
Mhm.
sometimes the warrior is a child. So yeah, my best friend will be there for me, and that's who I.
Yeah.
So if she's 45, that's great. If she's 65, that's great. So
Well, the good thing about Ukrainian women, we age like fine wine, So we take care of ourselves. We eat good. Like me, for example, and every single woman that I know, we cook from, if not from very very scratch. Like, I used to bake my own bread, but sometimes I just don't have time for that, right? But I try to make everything from scratch. I like to eat healthy food. It was really weird to me because when I first came here, and all this processed food, and I was like, what is that? Like, I've never seen this before. What is this? Like, and there's abundance here too. But yeah, so like, even in the video, D was making Connor very like healthy meals because he needs lots of calories, right? Because he's an athlete, and I understand, like, he needs a lot of calories, and he needs very good vitamins, like proteins and everything, right? So yeah, so that's these are the kind of women that we have, because we do extensive like research, so because we value our reputation. And it's not even yes, of course, the reputation, but we are based, like, I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe in this, honestly, because I've worked in sales before, but I didn't believe in the product, and I was just like, quit, that's it. I would even tell my customers, nah, don't buy this, this is garbage. I'm not that really good at lying. So. But so honestly, when I started this, I now that I've been doing this for a while, I met Joe, who's the founder, and his wife, she's the CEO. So we've become friends now. And I see how much they're in love, and that's just brings joy to me, and that's what they wanted. Because they met in Ukraine. It was very funny. It's interesting the way they met. It's not my place to tell, but Irina, Anna, sorry, Anna talks about it a lot. So, what else? What are your hobbies? What would you like for her to like to do with you? Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I just do what normal men do: hunt, fish, and I love going to live music. I love to travel, uh,
Mm-hmm.
concerts, etc. Hey, but honest, and all that sounds great and big, but guess what? Most of the nights, I sit at home, cooking dinner, watching TV, and to me, that's just hey. Also in the morning, get up, have coffee, have
Mm-hmm.
conversation. To me, that's 90% of
Cheers.
my life. And to say all this stuff about travel and hunting, fishing, that's
Mhm.
5%, 10%. But the bulk of it is just sitting and having conversation with this person, and having dinner with them, watching TV, watching a movie, going to the movies, etc.
Yes.
To me, that's 90% of what my life will be with her. But we'll have some adventures too. But just a normal life. And luckily, I have been uh, financially successful, so I
Mhm.
think that we won't struggle financially.
Well, that's good, and of course, any woman would prefer to have someone who is financially stable, right? But for Ukrainian women, we don't really care, like if you're multimillionaire or if you just make 50,000 or like whatever, because we learn to live within our needs, right? So we like me, for example, I've lived here for 25 years and I'm still thrifty. So I will go. I know where to buy what, like for example, sometimes my man thinks he should be initiate and then go and buy produce, and then I'm like, well, why? No, let's go return it, because and then I go and buy the same stuff from different places and I save like 40, 50 bucks. He's like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, this is how I do it. Why overpay? So I know Ukrainian women, we're not cheap, because when it comes, especially when it comes to food, I want to buy good food, but I still want to save a buck here and there. There's no point of overspending, right?
Correct.
That's how most Ukrainian women, because like I said, we've just come, everybody's equally poor back home. So, and I know I came here, yeah, of course, I was like, oh my God, all this, but at the same time, it's like, no, I'm cool with like, just being myself the way I've always been. I grew up there, so there's a huge difference between here and there. At first, I was actually depressed at first when I came here, because it was such a shock, like the culture shock. I've never seen people wear pajamas outside the store. I was like, what is this? Because honestly, if you ever go to Ukraine, and well, maybe not right now, I wouldn't recommend that. But if you ever go to Ukraine, like women don't even go outside in their sweatpants to take out garbage. They need to look presentable. I used to wear, when I came here, I used to wear high heels all the time back home. And I first came here and then I went to high school, even though I finished high school there. But because my English, I barely spoke any English, so my dad sent me to high school just to catch up on some English. And I would wear, dresses and heels, and people are like, are you like a student, or are you like a teacher's assistant? Why are you all dressed up? I'm like, why are you so dressed down? I didn't understand this. But now I'm kind of like, I still like to dress up when I go out, but if I'm just going to the gym or whatever, like sweatpants, but still want to look cute. Okay, we take pride in looking good, and real hair, everything real, and no makeup. So I'm, yeah, Ukrainian women, we like to look natural. So that's I guess that's the plus, because I've seen what makeup can do. I've seen makeup tutorials by mistake on YouTube, and I was like, wow. wow, it's a completely different person. I'm like, what is that? Like, yeah, I always recommend if you date in the West, take your dates, to the pool, steam room.
Uh,
Why not?
you said that the Ukrainian women age like wine, and I thought as you said that American women age like milk.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I again, it's not like I'm not trying to bash
No,
Western women.
no.
I honestly, I feel sorry because they filled up their brain with all this garbage that they listen to, and thinking, oh, okay, like even a 20-year-olds right now getting fillers and all this stuff. And I've seen, uh I don't have TV, so I mean, I have a TV to watch movies, but I don't watch like TV programs, stuff like that, right? So I don't fill up my head with garbage. I like to read books instead. But yes, they have these reality shows, and I sometimes have like YouTube playing, and sometimes things pop up, and I've seen these 22, 23-year-old, they look like they're in their 40s because of all this stuff that they do to their faces. And I'm like,
Also,
you
the
still
processed food.
young.
The processed
and
food.
and, and process, exactly, right? And I mean, my goal, and I say 5, 10 years from now, I want to own the acreage, and I want to grow my own vegetables and be sustainable. I want to go into town once a month, maybe, to pick up like paper towels and stuff like that from Costco and Walmart, whatever I need, and then back and be away from civilization. And a lot of Ukrainian women would love that. They want to stay away from people, go into town from time to time. We all love gardening. Most people in Ukraine, they all have gardens. Even if they live in the city, they have a garden somewhere. It's called dacha. So it's like, just a piece of land where they go and plant stuff. They have, plant vegetables, fruits, whatever. Usually just vegetables, depending on how big of the land. Sometimes they have a little hut in there, so it's because it's a little far away. So they'll go and have like a little bed in there. That's it. Just a little tiny hut, a little table, and that's it. And go and I used to wake up and go in the garden, grab pick tomatoes and cucumbers. Don't even wash them, just eat them like that. It was really, yeah. That's what I miss. I miss Ukraine a lot. I miss Ukraine, but at the same time, I love the West. Having my mindset and living here is different.
Can I ask you a question about
Yes, of course,
Ukrainian
of course.
women? The
Mhm.
one of my goals, or something I enjoy, is to have family gatherings, and not just family gatherings, but
Mhm.
gatherings of friends, people that I go to church with, community. I enjoy to, and I want my best friend
Mhm.
to accompany me on this, and that is to have a lot of family gatherings at our house. And everybody comes over and shares our food, our house, our laughter, our everything.
Well, we love that. We love that, Larry. I tell you, even now, like my boyfriend sometimes brings his friends, and I will make a big spread. My friends came over, his friends came over, and I cooked, 7-course meal, I just from scratch, and we just get together. Like, I don't really have any family here, and my boyfriend's parents also passed away, so it's kind of just us, right? But yeah, back home, it was every night we had dinner as a family together. Whether if I wasn't sitting there with my family to eat, I did not eat.
Oh wow!
Those were the rules. If you want to, Ukrainians, and actually a lot Eastern Europeans, even Italians, the Western Europeans, Italians, Spanish, this is our culture, in Europe. Dinner time is the family gets together, whether you like, if you don't, unless of course you're working or something, yes, you have an excuse. But if you're at home and let me go sit in my office and I'm gonna eat, you eat there. That doesn't fly. That was never. No, certain time you're there, you eat, we have a conversation together. All the holidays, for example, holidays, us women would get together, like let's say if we were going to celebrate at my grandma's place, then my mom, my great grandma would come over to my grandma's place and start cooking. Men would set up the stuff, like if it's outside, they will set up the table, make all that. My grandpa was in charge of shish kebab, marinating meats and stuff like that. So it was always that's what we love. We always love big gatherings, like family, friends, have dinners, and all Ukrainian women that I know, and I've never met one Ukrainian woman that does not know how to cook. I've met some that don't like to cook, but they can, and they do, but they'd rather not. They would rather have someone else cook for them, but they still do, because this is how we are raised, right? The man is the protector and the provider, and not necessarily he has to give all the money. No, that's not the case. Provider means it just comes as a package. You go and kick somebody's ass if somebody disrespects your woman, right?
Sure.
I would expect my man, if some a-hole called me some names, go and slap him or something, right? So that's the way. And then we are the feminists, so we take care of our men in other ways, right? So that's how the dynamics in relationship work. And honestly, Ukrainian women are just so sick and tired of Slavic men. They're the number one reason why Ukrainian people get divorced, is because, first of all, they get married too young. They still have this mentality that, I remember when I was leaving, my couple of my classmates, they already got married. They were at 16. One already had a baby by 16. And the second one is, guys love alcohol, so and get abusive, so that's just kind of, this is what is happening in Ukraine, Russia, Eastern Europe. A lot of alcohol involved, so
Well, that is
yeah.
something I'm glad I have never started doing, is alcohol or drugs, etc.
Yeah.
I think that's another reason I have a little bit of money, is because just making good decisions along the way, which in alcohol, in my opinion, does not help you make good decisions.
No, exactly, right. Been there. Been there myself. Online shopping while drunk, and then, oh my God, what did I do? No, let's return all this stuff. Been there, and thank God that part of my life is done and over with. Also, yeah, that's alcohol is not a friend. And it's, like I said, it just runs in, I guess, in just in our lives, that it's just normal. People like for example, if you go to Italy, they all have a glass of wine with their lunch, right?
Sure, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but Russia, Ukraine is like a glass, like a actually glass of vodka. I mean,
Bottle.
anyways, yeah. Well, that bottle is just for one day only, so you can imagine. So Ukrainian women just tired of it, and Slavic men, they because what's happening, and in Ukraine especially, last man, even before the war, that was the case. There was last man, way more women. So men were like, even the ugly ones were like, ugh, it's only me here, on this block. So, I got a wife, I got a girlfriend, I got another girlfriend, and they put up with it because they just like, okay, well, he's the only man here. So, this, and now that finally we basically, well, through internet, we have no borders. We can meet other people from different countries, and it's only a plane flight away, right? Maybe a couple. So now they're like, well, they're finding, I remember, like, I think it was in the 90s, we started hearing about the West more, especially after the USSR broke down, right? Because before that, we didn't know anything about the West. And then we started watching Hollywood movies and all this, and then the women seeing the Western men. Western men are better looking than Eastern European men, way better looking. At least average Western man compare, like, at least 2 points more than average Eastern European. I'm not even joking with you. No, I'm
Yeah,
not
because
joking.
of
It's the truth.
alcohol problems, etc., things like that, and I think we're more refined emotionally
Exactly.
than they are. But yeah, so And by the way, the I think the Eastern European lady is prettier by 2 points than the average American lady.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Yes, yes, and yeah, and very family oriented. I'm sure you will find yourself. Just sign up. You have your pick. And like I said, join for free for a month. And try it out. What else you got to lose, right?
Sure.
It's Yeah, so just try it out. There's so many beautiful women. I went through one day a little bit and I'm like, oh, too many. Too many. And I'm like, why am I even looking? I just wanted to see. And then women just gorgeous, right? And I'm not saying all of them are 10, but you can even tell that they're very kind by looking at them, in the picture. Like I
But
can I can
I'm not a
read.
10 either. I'm not a 10. I don't want a 10. Just to me, I just want a nice lady that's going to bring minimum drama to my life, as I'm going to bring minimum drama to her life.
Yeah. Listen, Ukrainian when we don't like drama. We've gotten enough drama from alcoholic, those drunk Eastern European. We avoid drama at all costs. Like why? Why do we need? There's the way we look at life, and at least I look at life, and I know of Ukrainian women. The way we look at it, it's like there's enough of crap going on everywhere else, right? There's enough drama, and everywhere you go, prices going up. This is not working. That's you know a pandemic here. This happening. Like I want to come home and I want to be in a safe place. I don't want to argue. I just want to come home, have some good food, have some cuddles, have a conversation and just relax. If we want to go to the movies later, let's have a date night, At least once a week should be a date night. We don't have to necessarily go out to a fancy restaurant. I honestly don't even like to go to restaurants because I cook way better than any restaurant I've been to. So I prefer, but sometimes it's nice to dress up and go and just have a little bite, just go into town, stuff like that. And Ukrainian women, we like to dress up and go on dates.
Well, American men like to show off a
Yes,
beautiful woman.
any man, well, straight man, let's put it that way. Any straight man wants to have a beautiful woman that takes care of herself in good shape, that beautiful hair, just takes care of herself. And I understand not everybody has a full head of hair or anything like this, or not like some people have wrinkles earlier than the others, right? I understand that, but as long as it's the confidence, number one, and it goes for men and women. Number one, I this is why in the West women so insecure with themselves. That's why they do all this stuff to themselves, right? Why not age gracefully? So yes, of course. And then what man wouldn't want a nice, and the same thing goes for a woman, right? The man doesn't have to have six pack, all that. No, Ukrainian women don't care for that, honestly. First of all, I'll tell you one thing: we don't like big dudes with too big muscles. We don't like that. Okay, average guy that just healthy, takes care of himself, eats healthy, goes for a walk, doesn't have to hit the gym all the time. What people don't understand is mostly 80% diet and 20% being active. You don't have to actually lift weights. 30 minutes of walk a day, plenty. You think I work out much? I don't. Like I go swimming, but working out now is boring. So, of course, like for example, if you go on a date, make sure you're presentable. You have clean nails. All women, no matter if Eastern, Western. Okay, well maybe Western, like they like the wallet, but Eastern women, they will always look at your nails. How clean your hands are. I, unless you're a mechanic, of course. I understand, right? But clean shoes, nice clean clothes. You don't have to wear Gucci, Versace, none of that. Just presentable, just to show that you care to look good for the day, right? I know I've been on dates before when I was younger where the guy just shows up and looks like a slob, and I'm like, what? No, bye. I'm out. Like
You have
if
to
you don't
try.
even if you don't even bother to look good for me, like even clean, like his shoes were so dirty, and that's the first thing I look at is the shoes. And then I saw it, I was like, nope. He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, no, man, like, mm-mm. He came to open the door for me, and then I look inside the car, and the car is like, I'm like, you kidding me, right? Like, I don't care if it's a beat up old car. It gets from point A to point B, right? I'm not that fussy. You don't have to pick me up in the Mercedes Benz. Nah, don't care. But clean it. Is that too hard to clean the car? It was like, I'm like, are you seriously? What do you think of me? Like, I'm not getting into this car. No. Let's go for a walk. But then I told you, like, I saw his shoes and I was disappointed. I'm like, no, I can't do that. I don't even want to imagine what your house looks like, right? So my point, like personal hygiene is important, right? To
Sure.
me. Right.
To me,
So
also.
yeah. Let's see what Zhenya and Nadina, one sec. What do their maximum age gap down for 38 male with Ukrainian lady? Well, I want to say 15 years, even 20 years, but no, but 20 years is too too young. No, 38. I want to say like 25. 25 should be good. A 38-year-old. Yeah. Anyways, oh, Larry, you disconnected. Oh, sorry. Okay. Western. Okay, Western relationship and relationship. They partner with a man's resources, not him. Yes, you're right. Does Match Guarantee doing excessive back research in the male clients? Well, we do then extensive research. Of course, we don't want some psycho on on our website getting to know women. Of course, yes, it goes both ways. We don't want psychos on either side. We want vetted women that only want to get married, want to have serious relationships. They don't want to, beat around in the bushes. That's what they want. Um, Obviously, of course, we find out their interests, so we find most compatible partners for our clients. And of course, man, yes, if you have a criminal record, right, we would like to know about that. I mean, if you just, I don't know, something like a traffic tickets, that's fine. But I don't know if you killed somebody. Yeah, we'd like to know that. I mean, what woman would want to marry or be in a relationship with someone who's got some uh, criminal records, bad ones? I understand, like in US, a lot of people even have criminal records for like smoking some ganja. I don't think that would be an issue. No, I really doubt it. Even though Ukrainian women don't like to smoke ganja. Anyway, I don't mind though. Is Irina looking for a husband? Oh, ask her. Okay, I believe she is supporting Zhenya. Yes, she's supporting me. She's my friend, and I support her. Okay, let's see then. Honestly speaking, do you really believe that there are many ladies who don't care if their men are well off? Listen, Dan, I'm telling you, based on the women that I know, based on my own values, yes, of course, it's good to have a man that is well off. Um, Simply if you want to start a family, right? And you want to start a family, and the Ukrainian women, we don't want somebody to babysit our kids. We want to raise our kids. We are mothers. I'm not, but the Ukrainian women, we are very invested. We don't want others to babysit because I don't think it's good for a child to grow up with someone else, a nanny, rather than the mom. That's a woman's job to be a mother, right? The mother and the wife first, and then the career and all that. So a lot of Ukrainian women, even if they have careers, but once they become mothers, they want to stay home. They want to take care of the children. They want to take care of the house. They want to take care of their husbands. So yes, of course, it would be better, of course, if the man has a steady job. It not necessarily he makes too much, like a lot of money. That's not. We don't really care that you make millions, as long as you can provide the basics for her and your children, for the household. We're fine, okay? Because the family comes first, right? Everything else comes later, you know. And when women are too busy at home with kids, they really need anything else? No. Like me, for example, I concentrate. Most of my money that I spend is on food. Everything else, it doesn't really matter, you know. Food, bills, that's number one. The rest can come at a later time, you know. I'm not dying to buy that pair of shoes or that necklace or whatever. No, we are very practical women, okay? First things first, bills, food, like I said, all that. And then when you have some extra money put aside for the rainy day, for the kids of education fund, you know, this kind of stuff with the and and the rest. Yes, maybe we'll go on a vacation or with kids, or maybe we can go have a date night. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want a well off? But at the same time, I personally, I had opportunity to date someone who was very like multimillionaire, but I didn't want to because he had uh his expectations. When I heard those expectations, I was like, I don't freaking think so. No, no money in the world. I'm not doing that. Bye. Yeah, you know, I'd rather we care to have a healthy family. Okay, we care to have a roof over our head, food in the fridge. Like I said, health comes first. Number one is health. Without health, you basically have nothing. You can have all the money in the world. Look at what Steve Jobs, he was a billionaire. And when he was dying, all he cared about was to live a little bit longer. But then nope. So cherish your health. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. Be sure you can put a fingers, relatively speaking, on whether it's about 50 or not. I don't know what that was, but anyway. I can tell it is the most fact that majority of ladies get attracted to well-off men. I don't know. I I wouldn't say attracted. No, you're attracted to the person that, I mean, to me, I'm only attracted to my man, okay? And he's the most handsome man to me, and I don't even look at other men in any other way than human beings. That's it. And I really don't care how much he makes. I still don't know how much he makes. Never asked him, never will. None of my business, okay? Maybe if we get married, and even then, you know, like I said, I'm pretty happy with everything I have. And you know, when people concentrate on money, it's never enough. You're never going to be happy. You're always going to want more. This is how this works, you know. Like, it's just most people, they don't know when to stop when it comes to money. Then they want this car and a brand new phone. And so now I remember when all these iPhones, the first one came out, they didn't come out with the second one for how long? Can't even remember, for a year or so. Now they're coming, or a few years, that there was only one iPhone. Now it's like 15, 16, 17. It's like every time I blink, there's a new iPhone. And you're never gonna be, you know, you're never gonna be, you know, with in the same what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, you're not going to keep up with technology, because every other day there's something new coming up. So Find someone who learn to live within their needs. They don't need extra. They're just happy being healthy, being in love, having someone there that they can rely on. If they have a bad day, they can go and actually have a conversation, tell them everything what's happened, and the person doesn't judge, and the person will give them a hug, kiss him, and hold them tight. It goes both ways. So I know women are emotional creatures, but men also have feelings and emotions, and I know even the strongest man, he needs a woman. He can't go to his buddies and say, "Hey, well, man, like I had a crappy day at work. My boss is that. My boss said that. My boss did this." His body's gonna be like, "Oh, suck it up, man. Like, what are you, a man? Grow a pair." No, but they don't want to hear. Of course, the person, that man, doesn't want to hear it. He wants some compassion too, and that's where a feminine woman comes in. Okay, not a masculine woman that will call you a sissy. Okay, because you have feelings. Anyway, yeah. So I answered to you. Then 38. Okay, she can be 25. I'm sure that 25. Why 38? Yeah, 20, 25. I say. If I were you, I'd probably go for like 30, 32-year old. Mm, but yeah, I could probably go as low as 25. Ukrainian women like older men anyway. I mean, in your opinion, to have a healthy relationship. Well, my man is older than I am. Yes, 10 years. 10 years is good. Anywhere from like, I think Ukrainian women want a man who's at least 5 years older. That's the Ukrainian women that I have been around, and I've been around plenty. They want at least someone who is 20, who's 5 years older at least. Hi, good morning, Vishal. Okay, I believe that man 38 and the lady are in different places. Phases, not necessarily. Then you know why? Because Ukrainian women were way more mature than men our own age. Even like I said, at least 5 years. At least 5 years difference, man. Hey, Pat. Pat, do you have a few minutes to come and say hello? I saw a picture of you and your girl, and oh my God, Pat. I was like, what is he doing with my friend Zhenya? Okay. I have a friend here in Calgary. Well, I used to back a long, long time ago. And she looks exactly like Zhenya, your girl. Like I was looking in and then I'm zooming in because um Anna posted it on Viber on the group chat, Ukrainian dating group chat, and yeah, I saw the picture with the dolphins, and oh my gosh, it looks exactly like my friend. I'm like, what? Anyway, okay, okay, the ladies at pay money to join in. I do not know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not on there, so I wouldn't know. I think maximum to go down is 32. Yes, then thir- 32. 6 years, yeah, even 30, 32, you'd be happy. Honestly, actually, I was talking to Anna, the CEO, Joe's wife, when we went to Joe's birthday party. Actually, the matchmaker just matched a new couple. What was it, last month? Yeah, in August. And the girl is 20 years younger than the guy, and Um, but our matchmaker, she's been doing this for over 25 years, so she's good at what she does. She knows how to pick them right. So basically, when the guy he wanted someone closer to his age because he's what in his like 60 or something, but he doesn't even look his age. He looks a lot younger. That's the thing. Like for some reason, Western men Western men age like fine wine. East Eastern European men like vodka, not like vodka, like milk also. And actually, Eastern European men, they already look like they're 30 and like when they're 15, like 35 when they're 15. But yeah. So anyway, back to the topic. The couple. So she found him a woman who was 20 years younger than him. If she's good looking, he saw her and he's like, no, she's too young for me. She's too young for me. And he was asking the matchmaker to find him another woman, right? And she found him other women and everything. Anyway, so but the matchmaker, she stood her ground. She's like, you know what? I don't care what you say. Give it a try, okay? I think you two have compatible personalities. You obvious. She when she saw the pictures of him, she was very intrigued because he takes care of himself. He's in good shape, looks good. And so she's like, oh yeah, I'm attracted to him, and he was attracted to her. But what threw him off a lot, it was the age difference. He's like, oh, that's too much. It's like 20 years, right? But like I said, matchmaker was very persistent on that. So he tried it, and what do you know? They're getting married soon. So, yeah. Well, they're in this very serious relationship, and they're talking about marriage. So, yeah, like I mean, don't let age difference scare you, because Ukrainian women we're very mature. Uh, I was mature ever since I think I was ever since I was like 3 years old. I was way mature for my age. So we're Ukrainian women. I find them, and not Ukrainian Slavic women. We have, if you ever heard of old soul. So yeah, that's what Ukrainian women are like. Anyway, let's see. Do you think many ladies in their late 30s lowball their selection criteria so they don't miss the train? Lowball. I don't think so. Listen, we are realistic, okay? And for me, and for most Ukrainian women, what we want in men is he has to be stable. And I mean, first, mentally stable, because in back home, like I've mentioned before, most Ukrainian divorces are caused by alcohol on the man's side. And I'm sure some women drink too. But so we want somebody who's stable, because I grew up with my stepdad, and he's the sweetest man. He's the sweetest man on the planet when he's sober. Okay, when he drinks, he's a completely different person. He's violent. He's mean. He's rude. He just not himself, right? So that's when my brother grew up. He doesn't touch alcohol. He's like, no alcohol. No, he's not. So basically, we want a stable man that emotion, not necessarily emotionally stable, but yes, stable, mentally stable. Emotions, yeah, emotions are hard to control. So, but of course, we want somebody who is at least tries to control his feelings and emotions sometimes, especially if they're wrong kind of feelings or emotions. Again, back to mentally stable people. That's what we want. We we want someone who has a steady job, because all the women that we have, they're family oriented. Some of them might have children already. Some don't, but they want to have children. So yes, of course, they want to mate with someone who's got good genes, who's got that have, yes, of course, has a house, not necessarily own house, but has, like, you guys, once you become a couple, right, you want to have a stable place where you live. You don't have to worry about getting kicked out, moving out, especially once you start a family. So so yeah, stability is number one. Like I said, Ukrainian women, we learn to live within our needs. So, and we will stick with you even when, I mean, money come and go. Sometimes you can make, I've said that before, sometimes you can make a bad investment and you can lose the money. So, but then it can be earned. And Ukrainian women will we're not gonna leave you because you just made a bad investment. I mean, if you keep making bad investments over and over and over again, and you're being stupid, yes, of course, yeah, of course. Then it's like, okay, so this guy obviously doesn't have two brain cells working, like, and keeps doing keeps making wrong decisions. Of course, we're gonna try and teach you not to, but at a certain point, if you like, if you're just gonna keep making wrong decisions and losing money, of course, like, who would want to be with someone who does not know how to budget? But we're actually very good at budgeting. Like, when you grow up poor, you know, you need to know how to budget. And I know for myself, and I know every single Ukrainian woman that I know. I feel guilty, when me and my man would go shopping, and like, I'd see something and I'd be like holding it. He's like, "Well, do you like it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, let's get it." And I'm like, "Oh, but it's like this much." And I was like, $30. He's like, "It's okay." So, I mean, I feel uncomfortable, even asking him. Well, I guess when it comes to food, no, I don't feel, because no. But if it's like something specifically for me, like a shirt or something, or like, I don't know, like some serum for my face or whatnot, yeah, I would be hesitant to ask him to get it for me. But then he sees that I like it. He's just like, "Oh, let's just get it, stop it." But and again, I buy most of my stuff on sale, and I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of it because I get the best deals. Like, why overspend money? Like, why? It makes absolutely no sense. I'd rather have money saved up for a rainy day, because you never know when poop can hit the fan, right? Let's see what else. Hmm. I think ladies in their 30s are more grown up and serious about relationships. Yes, I agree. But like I said, Ukrainian women, even in their 20s, they're very family oriented. Like, I'm not sure about now. My brother told me that right now the cutoff age for a woman to get married has uh, increased. Before, it was like, if you're 18 years old, and God forbid you're 20 years old, you're not married, you were considered to be, it's old maiden. So it's like, okay, 20 years old, that's it. You're too old now to get married. So he told me right now it's gone up to like 23 or something. But this is why this is why a lot of Ukrainian women marry so young, and then they're like, "Oh crap, I made a mistake." Why? Because, again, the traditional, so people just get married too soon for my liking. I don't know. Not my. Okay, so let's see what else. Okay, a couple of days ago, I met a Ukrainian lady. Oh my God, she was a stunner, incredibly beautiful. Well, that's the truth. Ukrainian women considered to be one of the most beautiful women on this planet. Hmm. Along with Russian too. Russian women are beautiful. Did you know what's crazy? It is that Ukrainian, Eastern European, Slavic, let's say Slavic women, most of them are gorgeous. But the men, no, no, I just no. Why? How does this even happen? I keep asking myself. Okay, so beautiful woman mates with this ugly man. The women come out pretty. The guys, not so much. No. Anyway, I don't know how this works, but it works somehow. But yeah, so anyway, you guys, if you want a supporting, loving wife that takes care of you, that will um love your family, and just be loyal to you, and not be so entitled, and just caring, and will cook for you all the time, then you should find yourself a beautiful Slavic woman. Ukrainian, Slavic, there are plenty of good women that we have, And I mean, just give it a try. What do you have to lose? Sign up for a month. It's free. You can start dating. Check it out. Like I said, our matchmaker, she's amazing. She knows what she's doing. And I mean, give be patient. Give it a little bit of time because we have so many women, right? And you might not click with the first one or the second one, but just try it, right? And especially when you have nothing to lose, it's free to join. You have a whole month to try stuff out. I mean, stuff. You try talking to different women and see what you like. But like Dan asked before, do we make an extensive research? Yes, we like to, because we want to set you up with someone who is very compatible, the most compatible person to you. And like I mentioned the couple before, that the lady was 20 years younger than a gentleman, and the gentleman was against it. But the matchmaker, she insisted on it. She's like, I don't care what you say, you're gonna try it out, and that's the bottom line, okay? Yeah, she doesn't really put up with people's BS either. She's like, no, you're doing it, and he's happy. He's happy. They want to get married. Yeah, okay, so 20 years, so what? You know, my grandpa was older than my grandma. I don't know by how, but something like 8 to 10 years, and it's fine. Listen, if you're happy, I mean, yeah, of course, if it's like 30 years difference, yeah, I mean, first of all, if you're in your 60s, or even if you're in your 50s, and if you want somebody who's 30 years younger than you've got some issues, dude. Like, why would you want somebody who's that much younger than you, right? So just be reasonable. First of all, be honest with yourself. Like, uh, do the test, the SMV test, your sexual value um test, to see, what your rate, yeah, is. And you'll see that Ukrainian women, we you get a higher score than with Western women. That's for sure. Okay, let's see. I agree. In my eyes, Slavic ladies are without a shadow of a doubt the most beautiful ladies in the world. Thank you, Dan. Yes, that's. I mean, there are so many beautiful Western women too. There are beautiful women everywhere, right? But it's a matter of being compatible. So, like, if you want a traditional wife, that will love you, that will be your support no matter what, that will not leave you if you lose your money, you know, and loving, caring, a mother to the children, then can't go wrong with the Ukrainian woman. But anyway, you guys, I got to go. It's already been an hour and I have things to do. I have so many things to do. But it was really nice chatting with you guys. Thank you for being here. And Irina, thank you for visiting. I like it. I really like it when you're here. I'll come see you tomorrow as well. Oh, wait. Daily word. Oh, let me add you to stage. Hi. How are you?
How you doing? I'm
I'm good.
good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. I was just about to disconnect, but then I saw you, and I'm like, okay, let's. I can spare a few more minutes. It's fine. So, what's your name? Daily word.
Well, my name is Doug, and
That
you
nice to
are
meet you. Zhenya.
Xenia. Good to meet
Yeah.
you.
Nice to meet you as well. Where are you from?
Originally from Kentucky, but I live in Pennsylvania right now.
Mm-hmm. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind. I'm 74.
You're 74. Wow. Wow. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Western men, you guys age like fine wine. Look at you. You look. I thought you were in early 60s. There you
Thank
have it.
you. How much do I owe you for that one?
Hmm? How
How
much
much
do
to
you
owe
owe me?
that compliment?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just your pretty smile is good enough. I'm good with that. Good
Thank
energy.
you.
Good energy is more than I can ask for. Believe me, people don't understand that energy is life, right, or death,
I
depending on.
agree.
Yeah. So, have you been married before? Guessing
I'm
yes.
sorry, say again?
Have you been married?
Yes, I am a widower. My wife passed away a little over 2 years ago.
Oh, my condolences.
Thank
I
you. I
can't
appreciate that.
can't even imagine to how to go through.
Mm,
But do you still like? I mean, it's a circle of life. Everybody dies, I guess. But
that's true.
so
Yes.
you're looking for um woman to share your life with.
Yes, as you see, I'm not dead. I love life and I want to get on with it.
You
I have
look
many
very
years.
much alive to me and been looking very good. Honestly, I'm
Thank
not
you.
I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. I tell the truth, believe me. I always tell the truth. That's why that's why people either love me or hate me, which is fine.
Oh, I like you. You're fun.
Well, there's a saying in Russian, it's always better to hear bitter truth than a sweet lie. And there's another
Yes,
saying,
I've heard it often.
yeah, and there's another saying that lies are like poop, they will always float up. So, so it's best
Yes,
to tell the truth because eventually it'll come up. And
it
especially
does. It always comes out.
when you least expect it. Okay. And then you caught off guard and you're like, oh shoot. I I've lied when I was a kid, and then I got caught, and I got a beating. So I learned my lesson. So I'd rather
Yeah,
not.
it's better to be truthful and deal with it then than get what happens later.
Exactly, especially if you want to be in a loving and caring relationship, you can't
Mhm.
lie to the partner. Like you,
No, you
and
can't. You have to be honest to build truth or trust. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, and I actually heard that not long ago. Your relationship is as deep as your deepest conversations, right? if you
Yes.
are if you are comfortable to talk to your partner about anything, that's really this is that deep your relationship can be. Like the toughest conversations, if you can't talk to your spouse or your partner about the toughest things in your life, then that's not a relationship. i
No,
just
I agree. I
I
agree.
know.
Thank you.
Yeah, because before in my other relationships, I never really had this relationship that I have with my man right now, that we are very open. I told him my deepest darkest secrets. I never told anyone. I was scared to tell him, even though they're not even that scary, right? In my mind, because I never shared. And he's like, oh, you poor thing, that happened to you. Oh well,
Right.
and I thought,
And many times the things that we go through are not that bad or difficult. We just think they are.
hmm just to think when
Coffee?
I go on.
You like coffee?
Oh yes, I make my own coffee. I make my own everything. I don't like to go places. Like I mentioned before, I love to cook. So every single day there's a new dish. Whatever it is that he wants, I cook. At first,
Ah,
yeah, at first when we started dating, I was impressing him with what I was making. But now it's like, well, whatever you want, you tell me, I cook it for you. So I was even vegan. I was vegan for 9 years before I met him.
okay.
And he was eating my vegan food before, and he was very happy with it. But then, because my doctor told me that I'm lacking a lot of iron, so I started eating
Okay.
chicken and fish, right, but not red meat yet. So he kind of forced me into it. Because he's like, well, I would really like for you to cook chicken. I'm like, okay, I'll cook you some chicken. He's like, only if you eat it with me. And I'm like, I don't want to eat it. I'm vegan. Then I'm not eating also. I'm like, drama queen. But that's okay. It's so cute though. So yeah. So
I
now,
like to cook.
he's
I
not.
like
He's
to
not.
cook. Cooking, it's fun.
It is fun, and especially like knowing what here in the West, there's so much processed food and all the. ingredients that they add to, stuff I've never heard of. Now I sometimes I read. Did you know that banana orange juice has beetle juice in it, like actual beetle? I found that out.
Welcome to the new world. And if you can't pronounce what's on the label, don't buy it.
Exactly, right. Sometimes I'm reading, I'm like, what is all that? And then I start doing research, right? Because I want to know what's in my food.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh my God, why would they put this in this? This is garbage. This is poison just to keep it so fresh for months. No.
We have a product in America called Twinkies. Do you know
Oh,
that?
I heard about them. Yeah, them and cockroaches, the only two things that will survive a nuclear bomb
That's
explosion.
true. Yeah, Twinkies have a shelf life of 14 years minimum.
Right? Well, the only food that never spoils is the honey, real honey.
That's true.
And
We have used honey for over 4,000 years, and it's still good.
yes, I read about they found some honey that was over 3,000 years old.
Yes.
And it was still good. I mean, yeah, it crystallized, but it's still good, right?
It's still good, yes.
So, and honestly, I grew up in Ukraine, and we had a huge garden, so we grew our own vegetables, fruits, everything. My grandma still grows it all. She's too old to take care of it now, but in the morning, the first thing I would go and just pick all the fresh fruits and vegetables and just eat them. I wouldn't even wash them, just eat them there. So when I came here, it was completely different, It in some ways is better, but when it comes to food, the food here is garbage. That's one thing.
I agree.
So you have to be so careful what you buy. Even nowadays, they make fake lettuce, and then I've seen fake watermelons and avocados and all this stuff, and I'm like, what is that? But yeah, so that's another reason why I like to cook, because I need to know what I put in it, and I cook with love, so I don't even need that many
There's
ingredients.
another reason for me to have a Ukrainian wife.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right. And honestly, I love to cook. The best time of my day is when I know my man is almost getting ready, like to leave work, and I start cooking. And then I see him through the door, and he smells the food, and he's so happy, And then we sit down, we have dinner, then we have a conversation, have a cup of tea after that, maybe even a piece of cake sometimes, I started cooking too.
Do you have a twin sister?
No, I do have a sister. She's no. That's so kind of you. Yeah, no, I don't. I have a younger sister, a half sister, but we don't really keep in touch. I'm not close to her or my dad, so, and they're here. Yeah.
I understand.
Well, but anyway, listen, I really have to go. I have a job to go to soon, so.
No way, you work?
Yes, I do work. Yes. I don't mind, it's my own little business. I do some residential cleaning, so pays the bills for now. But I'm also an artist, so I started making
what
my
is your
collection.
medium? What do you work in? As an artist?
As an artist, I do pencil and charcoal portraits.
Okay.
And I started doing acrylic paintings, abstract.
Do you like it, using the acrylics?
Yes, I'm learning, but actually I'm doing pretty good. My dad was an artist when he was younger, and I grew up when I was a kid. I grew up watching him paint and draw, and he was pretty good, but I'm better than him. So, because when I showed him, when I showed him my art, he was like, "You did that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Wow, you're better than me." I'm like,
See,
I know. No, I think he's better. I don't know who's better. Like I just remember his paintings and drawings, and I would watch him all the time. So yeah, I got that
I
from him. So,
understand. The reason I ask is I play guitar, I sing, write songs. So that's my artistry. So I was just curious as to what your medium was.
yeah, so yeah, I like to do that. I actually I've tried sculpturing too before. I like it. Also have a gift for that, but I don't want to overwhelm myself. So right now there's going to be an exhibition of arts in spring, so I want to make a collection for that.
Sure.
And yeah, I never thought that I was good enough before, but then I showed it to my man, and then he has a friend who actually taught art in college, and he saw it, and he's
Okay.
like, "Are you making money off of it?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "You should be."
There you
So
go.
yeah, so now I'm more confident. I'm
Good,
I'm
good.
I'm my worst critic. Yeah, I'm always
Aren't we
going.
all? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
always,
I go over songs maybe 5, 6, 10 times until I'm satisfied with it, and then I go back and tweak it later.
yeah, I know,
Like,
the
what's up
same
with
thing.
that?
It takes me forever, like, to because I like to I pay attention to little details, and
Yeah,
so I have to like make
yeah.
sure this and that is like, it's art. It doesn't have to be
All right,
perfect,
just let it
because
go.
what is the perfection, right? Perfection, just like beauty, is in the eyes of the beholder. That's
Mm,
the way I look at it, right?
there you
So
go.
to some,
If
I
it
might.
satisfies you, then you've done your job, correct?
Exactly, right?
There you
Yes.
go. Yeah.
Mhm.
I wish you well with that.
Thank you so much. It was very nice to meet you. And I hope,
You. Thank you
listen,
for talking.
yeah, join us, try it out. There's so many ladies, and even your age too. And, you know, they've lost their husbands, and they want to have somebody, to share their life with.
I
And
do know. Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
It's hard to be alone.
that's what I say, and modern women these days, well, younger generation, I guess, is like, oh, what do I need a man for? I'd rather be in the woods with the bear. And I'm like,
You
okay.
go for it, girlfriend. Go right ahead.
Yeah, like, they say, oh no, I'd rather be with a bear. I'm like, okay, you go, give me your man, and you go with the bear. Give me the
Yeah,
man.
no shit, right?
It's like,
I don't need that type of woman anyway. No.
but I just don't think women should be masculine. I
No, I agree.
when people, like, when, I don't know, in the West, I understand being equal to, maybe, yeah, intellectually equal, yes.
Sure.
Even that, I don't know how many female inventors are there. Let's be realistic. One, I know the woman
I
that
don't know.
invented period pads. Okay, invention, whoop-de-doo. Okay, but most inventions, like electricity, like, this kind of stuff, light bulbs, like,
Yes, a
every
guy.
everything is built by men. Everything. When women say we don't need men, what are you talking about? You don't need men. Like, I've even seen these videos where the woman is like, well, I don't need no man. If my car breaks, I'll take it to a mechanic. Hello?
Hello.
What,
Who's working on the car?
female mechanic? I've never seen a female mechanic in my life.
There are a few.
I'm
There
sure
are a
there
few.
are. Yes, yes. But it's the same thing. The house gets on fire. How many female firefighters have you seen? How many?
No,
It's
because the problem is the
99.9.
equipment. The
99.
equipment weighs so much.
Exactly. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm strong, but can I wear all this stuff? Carry this thing? Climb
Mm.
up like, and then saving cats and grandmas? Hello? It's like, and I'm
I
sorry,
like
maybe
that touch. That's a good one.
like, I couldn't do it. And women are weak. We are physically weak compared to men. So when Western women say we are equal, no, you're not equal. How are you equal? First of all, we are super emotional creatures. Men are nothing like
Yeah,
us. Like, we're completely different too. Like, the only thing that we have in common, and yes, we are both humans, right? That
true.
that's about it. Like, everything else, even our bone structure is different. Like, the
Yes, it
density of
is.
bones. So like you can't be equal to man. And then once you become like, if you want to be equal, then why do you want a man who provides for you if you want to be equal, right?
I don't know. I don't get that part.
Well,
See,
that's that
I like ladies who are feminine, who
exactly.
know how to be a woman, who don't want to take my job away from me as
Mhm.
far as providing for my home, taking care of my family, being the protector, providing a safe environment. That's my job. You guys
Yeah.
make everything beautiful. I just bring it to you and you make it better.
Yes, that's how I always looked at, okay, so the when a couple goes to buy a house, right? It's a woman who
Hmm.
decides what house she wants, because she makes that house into a home. Because if a
Yes,
woman, it is
absolutely.
up for a man. What does the man need? A bed, a toilet, a sink.
Well, we don't even really need that, but you know.
That's it. The men are very simple creatures. All they really need, if these modern women only understood, men are super simple creatures. Feed them, make sure the ball sack is empty, and just show them love and support. Don't nag them for no reason. I mean, I do nag my boyfriend sometimes if I tell him go to the doctor, you have to look at that, or
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
his car acting up, go, 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 go before it gets
Get it
worse,
fixed,
right?
right?
Only good things, right? But I'm not gonna nag him because he forgot to turn off the light, which he does all the time. No, you know what I do? I get up and turn it off. Simple, very
It is
simple.
simple.
You
And
know
when we learn to compromise and support each other that way, it's all good. How can it be bad?
exactly, right? And I also think that people don't change, right?
No.
Sometimes there's a possibility. I've known some people, they've been through some rough stuff, got
Hmm.
into like drugs or alcohol, got out of it, cleaned up their life, and started all over, right? But as a
True.
like personality traits, people don't
Mm-mm.
usually change. But like when two people, when they decide to, because marriage, if a relationship is work, it's not like, oh, I come into your life, make me happy. Okay, that's what. No, it's
Exactly.
hard
Where
work.
does that come from?
Yeah, and love is a verb, right? Well, it's also a verb. It's I love you. That means this is how I feel about you. And love, you
Correct.
show love. It's not just a
Yeah.
feeling, oh, I love you, la 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 la. It is work, right?
It is
That
work. You know,
so
usually the honeymoon phase lasts about a year and a half to 2 years, and then after
mhm,
that, it becomes work
mhm,
because love is a continuing,
exactly.
growing, emotional, all-encompassing factor of your life. So you support each other, you do what is
Yeah,
necessary, and you live.
exactly. So, and that's why when people get married, the priest asks for better or for worse, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And like I mentioned before, my grandma and my grandpa, for the last 3 years of his life, he had cancer. So his
Mm,
and he was an athlete. He was a water polo player. Then he became a coach, and then he became an international referee for water polo. So, and seeing him, like, I always remember my grandpa was big built. He was tall. He had like a very nice figure, not figure, body. Like athletic.
right. Yeah. Physique.
Yeah, physique, and just I can only imagine what was going through my grandma's mind, seeing the love of her life just basically dying in front of her. And she took care of him, and even some friends, even their mutual friends were saying, like, why don't you just send him off to the hospital, the hospice, whatever place, where
Mm,
they just like, she's like, what the hell? No, this is not the love of my life.
right.
I signed up for this. I married him, and I am going to take care of him till the day he dies. And she did. She
And
took
I
care
did
of
too. I took care of my wife for over 10 years here at home because I promised her I wouldn't put her in a hospice or a home forever. This was her home, our home. So I took
Yes,
care of her here.
yes, and this is how it should be. You can't just be like, oh, well, let's get married right now. Everything is peachy. You got millions of dollars. Okay, and then
Right.
boom, something happened. You lose the money. She's like, oh, well, screw you. Packs up, leaves, and still takes whatever you have left, and you left with nothing. So I do understand, like,
That,
why.
that was my first marriage.
Yeah. Well,
that that
that's
one only
why.
lasted 7 years.
Well, this is why I don't blame men here. They want to sign. They want women sign prenups, right? I've never
Uh,
heard of prenups in Ukraine. I never even knew what it was until I came here, and I don't blame them either. Like a
Even here,
woman.
growing up, I never heard of that before until I'm in my 40s or something.
I
And it
guess,
started to
yeah.
be popular with men to do that.
Well, it is if like sometimes. Okay, so like right now in the West, statistics show that 30% of men that request a DNA test for the children from the
Ah,
mother, 30%, no, wait, 30 to 40%, sorry, 40% of the men that ask for paternity test, they're not the father.
yeah, imagine that.
So now they want to they want to pass the bill to make it mandatory, and women are freaking out, and I'm like, well, why are you freaking out? Why are
Yeah,
you
you,
freaking
you're,
out?
you're doing the thing.
Like,
If it's your baby with your guy, great. If not, gonna find out sooner or later.
the thing is, some men don't. Like, I
Mm,
brought this up. I watched this video a few months ago. So this judge, okay, this judge, he was married to
hmm.
a woman for 52 years. He's got kids,
Wow.
he's got grandkids and great grandkids. And I guess he the daughter or something, or needed to do the blood test to see the
Ah,
compatibility for some kind of sickness, blood transfusion, or something. Found out both of his sons are not his, and not only
wow.
not his, two different baby daddies.
Whoa.
50, 52 years of marriage. He's a judge. He is a freaking judge, not just some plumber. He should know. If you think about it, he's a judge, so he does the judgment. He judges people, but he did not know that his own wife had babies, and he's already in his late 70s. He's not like he can start a new family at this point. So
Wow.
and he's getting a divorce at that age, 70 something years old, getting a divorce. Imagine that.
Wow. No, I can't imagine the hurt involved in that. You live your whole life with a woman, and all of a sudden you find out, wow,
It was
you were
all a
never true
lie.
to me.
It
Yeah.
was all a lie. That's why, that's what I see why a lot of men are hesitant to get married. And I know they want to get married because statistically, men that are married live longer lives, and
Yes.
especially if it's a happy marriage, they live way longer. And single men don't do so well, on their own.
No, not
So
very good. It's much better to be bonded together like God made us to be this way. You know,
yes, exactly. God made man and a woman to procreate, to have a family, to spread love and joy.
exact. Yeah,
And the thing is,
that's our job.
yes, and if most people, if they only knew how this whole universe works, how the energies work, that whatever, even the things that you think in your head, the universe hears it. So when you even talk or think low of yourself or talk bad about
Hmm.
yourself, the universe is listening. Oh, that's what you want. Oh, that's what you get. There you go.
Yeah, pretty
Even
much. That's true. There's so much
affirmation.
power in what we say. People do
That's
not
why,
understand the power of words.
yes, that's why they're called spells, right? So even if like, be careful what people like. I'm very careful of what I say. Like, always careful what I
Yeah.
say. One thing,
Never speak negative over yourself. Never.
Or even others too, because karma
No.
does exist. I have seen people, honestly, I've seen people that try to F me over back in the day,
Uh-huh.
and I look at their lives now, not that I'm looking for them, but my friends tell me, it's like, oh,
Well,
this
yeah.
one, she
Sooner or
she
later, you hear what
yeah.
happens.
And so this one woman, she effed me over so many times in my life, and now she's by herself. Like, her son is not even living with her. She's
Uh,
just a loser, right? And I'm like, well, this is what you got. Why are you
yep.
so bitter towards people? Even people that that were mean to me, I forgive and I let go. But those people are not allowed in my life ever again. That's it. I cut
I
them off.
see. If you can't forgive someone, you're not hurting that person. You're hurting yourself, right?
Exactly.
Because they
Exactly.
don't feel it. They don't even know a lot of times that you haven't ever forgiven them. So you're just hurting
Exactly.
yourself.
Exactly. That's how I look at life too. I've had a lot of people hurt me, but it's like, okay, well, time to move on. I still have many years to live. I'm happy. And what most people, I see that women in the West, they're like, they want a man to come into their life and make them happy.
I
Happiness
can't do that.
is
Not my
a
job.
choice. Exactly. Happiness is a choice. Yes, you can make
Right.
someone life happier,
Sure.
but,
Correct. I
but
can
not
help
happy.
support that happiness,
Yes.
but I can't give you happiness.
Yes, exactly. So when women is like, well, I need the man to do this and that for me and this and that, and then, well, what do you bring to the table? I am the table. Well, what's the
See
point of
ya.
having a table if you have no food on it? Hello? Like, it's just a piece of furniture that's collecting dust.
Uh, I like that one. That one's awesome. Can I use that?
Yeah,
The
go for
table
it.
thing?
Yes, of course. But that's what I'm just thinking. Like, when you say you're a table, like, but the table
Yeah.
without food is just a piece of dusty furniture. That's
Yeah.
it.
No, thank you. No.
Yeah. And if it's a IKEA table, no thank you.
No.
Right?
Splinters. Let me tell you ever get a splinter? That hurts.
Yeah. Right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh my gosh, it's an hour and 30 minutes. I
I know.
really have to go. It was really nice to chat with you. Please come back.
Thank
Tomorrow, if you have time, come back tomorrow. Irina is going to be here at the same
you.
time. Joe will send you an invitation.
Oh,
10
okay,
o'clock.
great.
Yeah.
The
So,
reason I look at my watch is that I have church tomorrow, so I was trying to figure out what time. If I'm out of, if I'm home, then great. Yeah, I'll be glad to jump in. If I'm not home, then enjoy yourself. I'll jump in
yeah,
another
well,
time.
I'm here. I'm here every Saturday. So come back
Okay.
again. I'm always. I love that when people come and the gentlemen talk to me.
Oh yeah, I would love to do that. You're very, very fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, well, you have a wonderful day,
I
and
will.
just say hi to everyone at the church.
I will do that. God bless.
Okay, love you. Okay,
Bye
now I'm
bye.
gonna do the one last. Yes, bye. Okay, you guys. All right, no more. Okay, let's play one last video.
This channel is designed to help you with this colossal decision that you are entertaining, looking at, which is, hey, I know you're done with dating in the West. Let's not even go there. Old story. But the question you're asking yourself is, are pastures possibly greener elsewhere on this beautiful planet of ours? Yes, the answer is yes. How do I know? I was in your very shoes, just a number of years ago. Now I'm happily married to my soulmate, my best friend, and we have 2 beautiful daughters, and life couldn't be better. But you gotta play your cards right, as anything in life. There's a few paths to success, and the rest of them are paths to failure. So to join for 30 days and do unlimited video dating for free, all you do is fill out the form in the description below this video, and Bob's your uncle. You can date them. Traditional women for 30 days on video right here, completely free, no obligation, no credit card, no nothing. The other thing that you really want to check out is if you're wondering How do women rate you? First, Western women. What's your SMV, your sexual market value score? You know, your score from 1 to 10. How do Slavic women, traditional women, rate you? Is it any different? Here's a tip. Most guys get between a 1 to 3 point bump in their score from Western to Slavic. Why? Because they're traditional values. Now, the caveat here is if you're a serious guy, right? You're looking for love and marriage. If you're looking at play in the field, well, no, your SMV will go down. Then you can calculate your probability of marriage with a Slavic woman. And finally, you can calculate your maximum realistic, keyword, realistic age gap with a Slavic woman. All of those are on my calculator, yoursmv.com. Thanks very much. Please subscribe to the channel, share the videos, and share the love.
I'm just reading some comments here. I want to reply, but I have to go. Okay, thank you guys very much for joining me. I really appreciate you every single time you come. I like to tell you my stories, my opinions, and I'm very glad that you always come and support me. Thank you. All right, I will see you back next Saturday, same time, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Okay? You have a wonderful weekend. Much love. Bye.